Picture this, you are living a fantastic life. People respect you, you have no toxic family members, you're in a job doing what you love, fun social life, crazy dating life. Life could not be better. But there is one problem with all this. You're dreaming. A lot of people dream of living a life that they're proud of instead of actually creating it. We all want to live a life that we can be proud of, but where do we start? The first place to start is by creating a personal constitution. So, what is a personal constitution? Before I answer that, let's break it down and see what a constitution is. And that's going to require me to brush up on my grade 12 social studies. So, the definition of a constitution is a body of fundamental principles or established precedents according to which a state or other organization is acknowledged to be governed. So a personal constitution is basically having your own principles that govern your way of living. But you're probably wondering, why do we need to have a personal constitution? Well, you can't go on living life randomly and hope that things will turn out for the better. For example, if you get disrespected by friends, you can't hope that your friends will start respecting you all of a sudden. Or if you live in a toxic home environment, you can't hope that that toxic family member is going to change and start treating you better. Hope will always be a poor strategy. However, you do have the power to create a better life. Whether you're rich, poor, sad, happy, it doesn't matter. You've always had this power, and it's just a matter of realizing this dormant power. And the best way to start realizing this power is by writing down your personal constitution. When you write down your personal constitution, it's the first serious step of living a better life. You are writing out the standards you want in your life and the type of person you want to become. Doing this simple step starts to make you realize that you are active in creating your life. And more importantly, it starts showing you that you are solely responsible for your life. This simple process of writing down your personal constitution forces you to ask yourself what you want from life instead of being force-fed the answers from society. And when you are able to figure out what you want from life, you'll start to care less what others think of you because you have created the standards of your life and you are the lone judge of it. And when we really think about it, isn't it a waste of our precious time on earth to care how we seem in front of someone who will probably forget about us? Yeah, it's a huge waste. And if you don't have your own personal constitution, well, comrade, you're more likely to live a life based on shallow standards. And at your funeral, people will just say that you were a regular nice guy. Alright. So how the heck do we make a personal constitution? Well, let's take a trip in my head. We need to go to the strip club. That has to be mandatory. We need to go monk mode. Screw this world. We need to have fun first. Screw all these man-made responsibilities. Gentlemen. We can go on talking until Zeus gets another lady pregnant. Listen, can we all agree that we want to get laid more, save money for the short and long term, be well traveled, and have a fun social life? Can we at least agree on that? Excellent. Okay, on this day, March 7, 2021, we all can agree on the basics of this constitution. And every year we will revisit it to update it. Alright, so the first executive order for the Empire of Bulcha is to stop Genghis Khan. Okay, it's not that crazy, but it is simple. So go get a journal or some fine piece of paper and give your constitution a name or something. Mine is called the Constitution of Bulcha. I know, it's not a great name. Alright, so let's divide the personal constitution into two sections. One being the living principles, and the other being the type of person you want to become. Under the living principles section, write out a few non-material things that you want in your life. To help you brainstorm, take a look at mine. Okay, so under my living principles section, I have having self-respect, being respected in my family relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships, living in a peaceful home environment, minimal drama, focusing on joy rather than happiness, and ensure that you have some sort of plan to achieve all those items in that section. For example, if you have low self-respect, go see a therapist. Or if you live in a toxic home environment, then make a plan to save money and move out eventually. Having a plan and committing to it shows you are serious and starting to live a life that you can be proud of. Now, we need to discuss one very important concept for the living principles. If anybody infringes on any of the items under that section, then you declare war. Just kidding, we do not condone violence on this channel. However, if anybody, whether it's your family, friends, lovers, etc., infringes on any of the items on your living principles, then you need to reevaluate your relationship with that person. That might involve minimizing contact or cutting them out altogether. I know this is a tough pill to swallow, but nations have went to war for pettier reasons. So in your case, you have every right to remove someone that makes your life worse. And this extends to family. For us first or second generation immigrant nerds, dealing with our parents can be difficult at times. But we have to remember that we live in the West and we cannot tolerate any disrespect. Trust me, I come from a Muslim Ethiopian household and parents are treated like gold in my culture, as they should be in any respectable family relationship. But when one of them tried to invalidate my constitution, I was not afraid to minimize contact and set boundaries with them. Obviously, this is much easier when you're not living with that parent, but you have to understand, if you let your family or friends treat you poorly, you are communicating to the world to do the same. Alright, so the next section is to write out the type of person you want to become. This is a very simple process. So write out the traits of an amazing person, be it charismatic, social, fit, well-read, whatever. Just write it down. Then once you're done, write out 1 or 2 simple habits to achieve those traits, and also have a plan to implement them. And if you're not sure how to implement those habits, then go read Atomic Habits by James Clear. Anyways, that's it for that section. So start small, stay consistent, and then over time, you're going to become the best version of yourself. Before I became the charismatic nerd, I was more like Steve Urkel, but by focusing on the type of person I wanted to be, which included being social, fit, well-read, empathetic, over time, I started becoming that person and continue to do so. And because I love you guys so much, let's do a quick example. Say this is your list of traits of the type of person you want to be. Social, no self-defense, well-read. Okay, one small habit to be more social is to hang out with 1 friend per week. You take the initiative to hang out with your friends. Simple habit, but this will also show your friends that you care and will also show you the friends that don't want to bother to be with you. Self-defense. Go learn 1 martial art, say once a week until you feel more comfortable to attend more frequently. Being well-read. Just read 10 pages of 1 book per day. Do this in a month and you can easily finish 1 book. 10 pages is not a lot and very easy to achieve. See, it's not complicated in developing yourself into the best version. You just need to know what traits you want, find the smallest habits to achieve them, and be consistent. Hold on. What if this is all corny and pointless? Can't we just remember our constitution in our heads? Sure, that's a fair point. But can you answer this one question? What did you have for lunch yesterday? If you can't answer it, then you should write out your personal constitution. You have to realize that you can't live in your head and remember everything. If you just think of all the things you need to live a great life, well, you're just doing another form of dreaming. Writing down your personal constitution means you're serious. And when you are failing to reach your standards, you will feel the pain of disappointment, because you can see your personal constitution and realize that you are not living up to your standard. Whereas if you try to remember these standards in your head, well, you can't judge yourself objectively. So don't be lazy, write it down and commit to yourself. Alright, so for next steps. So go get your journal, and if you don't have a journal, for the love of God, go get a nice one. Treat yourself. Anyways, in your journal, create a section for your personal constitution. Write it down, put a date, and sign it. And if you're corny like me, you're gonna have your own 4th of July celebration. Okay, maybe that's too corny, even for me. Also, make sure to review your personal constitution every 3 months to ensure that you are living up to your standards and also to hold yourself accountable. Alright, that's enough of me blabbing on. So let's go to the summary. A personal constitution is having your own principles that govern your way of living. A personal constitution gives your life direction based on what you want and who you want to become. It also forces you to not rely on hope for a better life. To create a personal constitution, you need 2 sections, the living principles and the person you want to become. It's best to write out your personal constitution as it means that you are serious about making progress in life. Plus, it will be easier to reference and see if you are living by it. Anyway guys, that's it for today. Thanks again for watching, and please show me some love. Like this video, comment, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my email list for some goodies. And guys, remember, you're not just any type of nerd, you're a charismatic nerd.